Hey,
What's up?
What's up, y'all? What's up? My name is Nate Allen, comic here in Atlanta, Georgia. I am joined here by my boy.
Yep, K-Striggss from Fort Lauderdale, Florida, based in the ATL now. So,
Are you from Fort Lauderdale?
come on, not Savannah.
I thought this man was from Savannah the longest. For the longest, like what I know you for like 3 years.
Yeah,
from Savannah. 'Cause every time I saw you,
was in Savannah.
You would be in Savannah. And then, man, you came to do a show one day, and I came and I was like, I'm about to be hanging with Eric Bailey.
Eric Bailey, yeah.
Because you know Eric. And
First, I'm like, who's
you were looking in your phone to look him up on
who
Facebook.
is Eric
I was
Bailey?
like, what you talking about? You know who?
Come on, everybody.
I wanted to smack you in your head. Like,
Everybody know Eric.
Bailey.
Everybody know Eric.
From Savannah.
I'm like, I was like, I'm not from Savannah. He was like, wait, what?
I wouldn't accept it. I just now accepted that
like,
you from Fort Lauderdale.
No, he is. Like, Shrimp, he's lying. What's up with your boy? like, didn't he, like, you find a high school? Didn't he go to Carver? Didn't he go?
No,
like,
bro. I was like, you grew up right around Eastbrook. You know
I was
that.
like, no, but
No, man.
That's funny.
You have a good quality of blending in any space. So I thought you were from it. All right, Fort Lauderdale. Anyway, we're comics here in the city, and this is a podcast. We specifically created this because we found out something very unique that he and I both share.
Yes.
And that is both of our fathers are drug addicts, specifically crackheads. I
functioning though.
Hold on. We'll get into that. We'll get into that. We'll dissect that really quickly.
Yes.
But let's talk about how this podcast came to be.
Dope.
A few years ago, I decided to start bringing some material about my father on stage. It's very uncomfortable at first because, of course, when you're actually going through all of that shit, because when somebody is addicted to drugs, their family is going through it too. Yeah. And when you're going through all those times, it's actually not funny at all. So I didn't really know how to bring that to the stage. And I wasn't really able to do it until I was able to gain perspective. And then I don't know what kind of words I should be using.
Yeah.
I was about to say, I was lucky enough to find someone else who also had a crackhead dad.
He is also on the spectrum as well.
I wanted to hug you when I found out.
Father. It's like, bro.
Wait. So it took me a little second to feel comfortable talking about these stories on stage, and it was because of those reasons. And I've known you for a few years now. I've seen your comedy, and I didn't hear you talk about this on stage.
At all.
And we also did not ever have conversations about it. And it just so happened this past year. How it happened is I have a joke where I say,
Great joke, by the way.
I have a joke where I say, hey, my dad used to threaten to whoop me. And one thing he would say is, hey, boy, you better not make me take this bet off my arm. And you would always come up to me and be like, you know what? I think that even though you're talking about your dad doing crack and technically a belt is heroin, it's genius.
It's hilarious.
And it turns out you were giving me that compliment because you have your own experiences.
Yeah.
So I wanted to ask you, what was the process and how long did it take you to finally feel comfortable doing it on stage? And also introduce yourself.
So, and shout out to the Punchline, because that's where the aha moment for this idea kind of manifested. And I was just like, you know what? This is a perfect time to bring this to Nate. And when I told Nate about my father's situation and struggles, he was just like, wait, what? We were distant brothers that never met. It was like, wait, are you serious? Like, we both do comedy? Like, are we from the same guy? No, but
your blood is B positive.
Yeah, I was like, what? Man. You had dreads, right? But yeah, so like how you said it was tough to start, right? How I've always dealt with my trauma, specifically in that space, I've always been like, hey, that's them. Like the user or the wife or girlfriend, I'm like, that's not me. So it's just like, I'm not going to take it as like, even though that's my dad, I'm not going to take it as like, oh my God, my world is distraught. No, I'm like, that's how you cope with life. And I'm not condoning it or condemning it, but I'm like, okay, that's how you go along with your trauma. So I say, I have another space of trauma bonding that I do with other people. So I found a way to like, is accept the right word? Like just, okay. Right, so I found a way to accept it, but also never allow the acceptance to interfere with the love I got for him. You know what I'm saying? So I'm like, I accept you for who you are. And I tell my dad all the time, I said, look, the streets is getting good out there. And I said, hey man, I know it's tough because of the cycle that you're in. And I told him, I said, I want you to quit, but do I think that is possible? Yes, but cycles. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? So meaning like, if you say I hate this job, right? You wake up and still keep going to that job. So you're not gonna love it all of a sudden. So I'm like, you have to change your environment in whatever realm that is. And I'm like, because of where you are, I can see a consistency. And I'm like, you know what? So I have to learn how to love you in that consistency and still accept you, but still lay down guides and hey, what you can and cannot do, but not, let it take a toll on me and our relationship. So, because me and my dad, we're very alike. And it's like, it's hard to say that in a sense because of he has an addiction. Like I have certain things that I battle with too. Not crack, but let's let that be known. But I have my things. With my dad's we've talked about it. So I was like, with me doing comedy in this 6 years, it'll be November. With me doing comedy, it's like, man, how can I bring that trauma / comedy effectively to the stage with like not in a way of like, oh, I'm a downing. No, this is some funny, nurturing. This is what's happening in a cool perspective. So that's what's like. And I've done open mics with like jokes about my dad and stuff like that, but never like show. So and I've never really worked on perfecting the joke about my dad. It's just like, I could just say this story about my dad. And when we were at the punchline, like when I did a joke, it wasn't fluid. It was just like me talking. It was just like, all right, let me just get it out. So right now it's like when I always heard your joke, that's always been in the back of my head. I'm like, man, he does that. My dad does this, but it coincides. So guess what? You're not alone, bro. Just find look, let me tell you something. It's gonna be parents out here gonna do crack till the day they die. You know what I'm saying? Like,
which I don't understand because crack is not been advertising the best way at all. I just want to know what the verbiage is like because just the word crack is just not appealing.
Crack is like it's nothing appetizing.
Nothing at all. Like crack is like the crack of your window shit. Like
ain't nothing good.
Good about that. Like it cracks homes up. You can edit.
Okay,
please edit that. But no. When I'm doing the material, like you said, I always wanted to make sure that it's not just jokey. Because in my mind, I guess in the past few years, I've always thought about, how would I feel if I performed all of this material right in front of him? And do I just want, because through all the years through me working at a rehab facility, I understand addiction is
How many years you worked there?
I've been working in that field like 6 years.
Okay.
So addiction is real. Like he's one of the reasons that I even got into it in the first place.
That's dope.
So it's like, and it's funny shit that happens. And clearly like, I went through the entire thing with him as well. Yeah. I wasn't there doing crack with him.
He's in the house. He's like, fire that shit up, Daddy.
This podcast completely changed if I just sit there like, nah, all right. I'm the one.
The gig is up. I do. It's like, what the fuck? We're like, hold on, cut, can we?
No, but anyway, I wanted to make sure that while I'm telling these stories, obviously when I'm on stage, my goal as a comic is to be funny. So I'm gonna use the language of comedy to convey all of these complex feelings that I'm having and all of these stories that I have. So that's why I originally was able to bring all of my stuff to the table. And so specifically with your situation, I thought it was unique. Because while both of our dads do have addiction, it's like two sides of a different coin. Yeah. And because you have a functional
man, and put that in big bold, functional right?
Father that you can actually call up. You know what's crazy?
He has a number.
And that made me right. You were on stage talking about, if my dad, he'll just go on binges from time to time. And he was calling me, telling me how hard it is to get over this addiction and all of these terrible stories and all these down feelings that he'll have. And the whole time I was listening like, Your dad actually calls you?
He was like,
your daddy calls you?
He communicates?
That's crazy. Like, you got him in your contacts, the number worked.
And I cherish that, bro.
Bruh.
I do.
And last night, you ever watch Daredevil on Disney Plus?
No, I haven't seen it.
Daredevil. Okay, Daredevil. All right, he's a superhero and all.
I know Daredevil.
Right. So he's the villain on the show. His name is Fist. He's like this mob boss and whatnot. They had an episode where they did a flashback and whatnot. And remind you, I'm trying to prep for the episode. No. So they do a flashback where the dude he had an abusive dad. His dad was an alcoholic and he was abusive.
Of course.
And so there was one scene, it was very gruesome, where his mom, his dad gets mad for some reason, and then he takes his belt off and he starts beating his mom. He hits her and he starts beating her. Mm-hmm. He's sitting in the corner, he's trying to ignore it, he starts crying. Then eventually he picks up a hammer and then he bashes his dad's brains.
Okay.
Bashes dad's brains in, and his mom, she turns into a G. She's like, all right, we need to chop his body up.
Oh, she's been wanting to do this for us. Thank God you did it. So I can show you what to do after.
It was crazy because she didn't seem like that.
She was like, about time. I was waiting for you to do it.
It's blood everywhere. The kid's covered in blood. Everything is bloody. Yeah. And I paused and I'm like, oh shit, I gotta call my dad.
He's like, nah, it's not like I'm gonna bash his head in, but I just want to call my dad.
It's like now that I'm seeing them cut this nigga up in pieces, I gotta call him and make sure it's okay if I talk about it.
Let me holler at you. Hey, look, and like when we were talking, I called my dad 2 days ago, and I gave a refresher call this morning. I called him 2 days ago, and I said, hey, what do you feel about the term crackhead? Or how does that hit your soul when you hear that? He was like, and we spoke about this, like, it used to pinch him, like cut. He used to literally emphasize on pinch. Shout out, right?
I felt some feeling in my arm.
It's a pinch. No, but my dad don't mess with needles, so that's why I was like, he had to go with the crack because heroin, that's out. But it used to get to, and he told me, like, it used to get to me, but he says with my expression of things, and he was just like the trial and tribulations of what he's been through. It's like, I know it probably still gets at him, but it's more like oil on water. It just slips right off because it's not like he doesn't take it to heart as he first did. Like, it's something about, like, I was watching this video earlier today and a guy was like, what are you talking about? What are you talking about? He's like, that's not me. And he got the video, the short Instagram thing was like, no, you're a gay man that likes messing with me. And when the guy's look on his face is just like when you hear it, it's like, no, you're a gay man. And it was just like hearing that, at first was like, it was alarming, but now it's like, that's not who I am, even though I do battle with this. So it's able to, and then I'm using it as my expression, my art form. So he's just like, man, go ahead and use it. Yeah. He's like, bro, go. And I'm just like, all right, crackhead.
Yeah, that's amazing.
Yeah, and so and I was like hell bent on, like, I need to talk to my dad before I go forth with this. But my dad has always been like, he's always been a peeled onion. He's like, whatever layer you want to know, let me know. Like the story, whatever layer you want to know, I will tell you. And I'm like, I don't know if I'm ready for that because of how you looking at me when you saying, like, he's like, whatever you want to know. I'm like, all right. And I'm like, okay. But he's been nothing, and that's why I don't hold it against him. And shout out to my mama. She never put him on child support. So I say, man, you keeping all your money to go out in these streets. Congratulations. So I'm like, you good. And he always, that's our joke. He was like,
my mother never put my dad on child support.
Man, come on, man.
What was here's the dynamic, because I want to ask you about, like, what makes you, what do you think about your dad that caused your mom to still love him after all these years? Because when my dad's addiction got really bad. All right, so I wanted to ask you this: when was the first moment that you knew, oh, my dad has a problem? This is a thing. I know mine.
I know mine.
you know what's gonna be crazy?
It's your rites of passage moment.
Everything that you're talking about with your dad seems functional. And
yeah.
Every story I have, I feel bad because every story I have about my dad ends with us getting into a fist fight or some shit like that.
I've touched up on my dad probably. And I say touched up because it wasn't a fist fight. It was more like a man. Come on. It was more like a man. Get your stuff together, bro. At one time. And he called me. He was just like, bro, that's the first time you ever put hands on me, man. And it blew me. Like, it just blew my mind. And I'm like, yeah. Hell yeah. But I've never, like, fought my dad. I'm like, man, come on, dog. Yeah. It's been like, so the first time, I mean, ask you a question. The first time, and this is probably
this is crazy. I'm actually sitting here jealous of you.
Your dad is still in contact with you.
It's like we both got two autistic kids, but mine is just sitting around just playing with blocks.
Yours has the helmet on. Yours
is doing gymnastics, football.
Your son is autistic and play football. I'm like, God dang.
And I'm looking at my kid with the helmet on, like, nah, he climbing on monkey bars. Like, man, get up.
Come on, man. But the earliest memory. And I think that one of the memories is when my mom, the mama lets you know. She'll let you know. You know your daddy. They'll do that. But when
it's the opposite.
Okay. Go ahead. But I'll never forget this, and I called my dad specifically about this story. The one that I remember was when, I believe, and you can vouch for this if possible, there's always that he my son too argument between the mom and the dad when they go through a phase of like, oh, I want to see my son. No, you ain't seeing your son like this. So, no. Okay. All right.
No, I can't. God, you making me look bad. I have no memory of my daddy fighting to see me at all. No.
Right. So
just us fighting.
So my dad tells a story about like in 96 when I was born, he moved up and came up here to rehab in Georgia, right? So my dad actually is tangible, is touchable. Shout out to Covington. He's in Covington right now, right? So
Covington, like,
yeah, what's up, gang shit? You know what I'm saying? But he, I guess, would travel back and forth, and on his POV, his point of view, he was like, oh, I've traveled all this way, and now you telling me I can't see my kids? So we were at an apartment, and I was outside with my brother, and they were going back and forth, but I'm in la 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 mode. I'm like, oh, that's dad, that's mom, la la la. My brother is older, so he's understanding the back and forth. And my dad and my mom were yelling at our apartment complex, and I'm outside with my dad, and my dad pulls me closer to him. He was like, you know I love you. You see, don't worry about nothing but your mom and what's going on right now. I love you. And I just see my mom. I don't care what you're telling him. He's still coming with me, But I'm like, why don't you tell him about your problem? And it was that conversation. You want to tell him everything. And that's when mom came inside. She's like, your dad is such and such. He's struggling. He does X, Y, and Z. And I was just like, my mom told me, but it didn't. I'm like, okay, he does extracurricular activities. In my mind.
That's what she labeled it?
No, but he does stuff. But in my mind, it's like, oh.
What is the verbiage she's using?
So the verb, that's foggy because I didn't ask her. But I remember the conversation, just the figure of us talking aftermath of what was going on. But it was along the lines of, from what I can remember, it was along the lines of, your dad's out here doing what he does. You know what I'm saying? I think she wasn't too vocal, like he doing crack, but it was more like, da 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 da.
You can't say it like a normal word.
It's like you have to add emphasis. Nah, he's just out here doing crack. Nah, he's doing crack. That's what he doing. Crack. Yeah, God. But it was more like, that's when I saw like, okay, there's an interesting dynamic, and that's when got my like, okay, what's that kind of fuel? Like, okay, what's going on with that? And so that's my first memory of like, okay, my dad got an issue, and my mom and dad don't rock. Oil and water. No way. Now they can talk. They can be in the same room together now. But yeah.
Jesus Christ, this is impressive. Nothing could break your family.
Let me tell you, if crack couldn't do it, man, I don't know.
A strong family unit.
Yeah.
My thing is, when I was younger, I always knew my dad would drink because I always knew when he had like a smell on him, he started playing loud music and shit like that. So I always knew. And sometimes when he would give us whoopings, they would like last way too long. I remember.
What is the time limit on whooping?
It felt so long that I felt like I had an out of body experience. Like
you don't even feel it no more.
Like I got a vivid memory where I can't imagine whether he was beating my sister or whether like he was beating me so long that I just felt like I was just over watching myself get whooping. But it's like I knew like my dad had drinking problems, but I didn't know that it was something heavier until one day my mom used to have a bunch of cassette tapes that she would buy a bunch of cassette tapes and just keep them. And he had like a little lunch pail, and I remember he was wearing like some kind of dirty tan jeans, and he had a tank top on, and he had his lunchbox, and I think he took like a bunch of her tapes to try to go pawn them.
Yeah.
And then me and my sisters, every story ends like this, where me and my sisters, we kind of all jumped on him in the front door and got her tapes back. And then at that point, he was living with us.
Yeah.
And we were in this apartment complex, and we put him out, but he didn't like leave. He started sleeping in the hallway area.
He got a new room.
Yeah.
He got a new room.
What was crazy is, so we stayed upstairs. So what he did first is he camped out like right in front of our door.
Good morning. Good morning, family. All right, y'all. Y'all want to walk into the Good morning, family. Like, hold on, Dad. What the fuck?
Because he would be there, and so we would step over him. So my sister, she would have boyfriend come over.
She's not a hoe. She would have a boyfriend.
And I remember I watched him step over him one day, and he kind of almost stumbled down the stairs trying to leave. But anyway, he would stay right there, and then it got to this point. There used to be this game. I'm a really big wrestling fan.
Come on,
so
shout
there
out.
was this game
I
called
was too,
SmackDown versus
This is Raw. Come on, man.
Would come out every year.
Yeah.
I would press my mama to buy it.
You gotta get it.
So let me back up. One morning, I don't know why this happened, but I think every morning I would leave, I would kind of talk a little shit to him before I left, or like give him like a little look.
I made the football team, Dad, and just walk over.
Nothing like that. You thought I was telling him my accomplishments?
Yeah, your accomplishments as you walking up. Yeah,
I was just
passed the third grade, Father.
I'll open the door and open the front door and tap him. And
Hey, I know you didn't come to graduation.
Yo, he the one that got me in the wrestling. I just tap him and be like, yo, Triple H went off.
You got to keep him up to date with the
win.
Hey, Rikishi, he did it again, Dad.
But anyway, so this morning, I forgot for whatever reason, he pulled a pocket knife out before I went to school.
The son.
Yes, he pulled a pocket knife on me,
Okay.
and then I went to go on to be a 7th grader. And then I came, then I came back home that day. And mind you, now that I'm saying all this stuff out loud, things like that wouldn't be the first time something like that would happen.
It's just a normal
It's just
Tuesday.
gotten to the point where it would be so much violence that I've normalized something.
It's a numbing.
So that just happened, and I just went to school and just went on about my day. I came back home, and remind you, this was the day SmackDown versus Raw came out.
Yeah.
So in my mind, I'm like, Mama, you got to get this anytime it comes
Yeah.
out. So I come home, and I knew my mom get paid on like a certain day. So I'm like, hey, did you get the game? I don't know.
You know your mama pays scale.
I don't know why. Yeah, we all did. We just got income tax, like everything.
April 4th.
Yeah. And so, like, I came home and I was like, Mama, did you get the game? And she's like, no. And at the time, during the afternoons when she'd get off from work, she would be outside talking to my dad on the porch. And then,
We're kindling old flame.
Yeah, man,
Look, why don't you let me come in and get something to eat? Come on now. Let me in.
That dick game must be crazy.
Look, hey, shout out.
At this point, 3 kids, crack.
And look, so I look at it like this. My dad, like, speaking on the dick game, bro, my dad had 5 kids. My dad got 5 kids.
We found the name of the podcast.
Ding, ding, ding,
Dads
ding,
and dicks. Dads and dicks.
My dad had 5 kids. He has a wife now.
Yeah,
Right.
your dad.
So he has, in total, it's 3 women, 2 girlfriends, 1 wife, 5 kids, right? 2 sons, 2 boys with my mom. And I'm looking like, as much hate and anger that was spilled on his name, I'm like, not only did you have 1 child of a rotation, you had 2 child of a rotation, and he's had 5 cycles. So I'm like, multiple with the women, all of them, right? So I'm like, what about it is so mesmerizing, right? Because my dad, like, I always call him, I'll be like, Dad, you ugly. Like, I want to let you know, like, you ugly. He was like, but my dad is the type of guy, he was like, but my tongue is pretty. Meaning he could talk the panties off of a nun. He's a likable guy. Like,
that's not what I thought you meant.
Yes, but because
that's not what I thought you meant. I was like,
no, but
that's
meaning
weird thing to say to your child.
No, but like meaning he he would always like put stuff out like that. I'm like, meaning like I can talk, and he's a personable guy. He's a football, basketball, track, baseball, swimmer. He can do.
I've seen my dad's dick before.
Hey, unfortunately I think I have too, but it's interesting to see somebody that caused so much hurt, harm, and danger to your life, but he's just like, yeah, let's do it again. let's run it back. He done did the LeBron in Miami. Let's run it back. Come on, y'all. Let's run it back.
Well, yes. Anyways, yes, she was very much still in love with him. So every day I would come home, she would still be talking to him on the porch. So I asked her, "Hey, did you get the game?" And she's like, "No, I didn't."
I was outside talking to your father.
Immediately, I go to my sister because she's the one who would just fuck him up a lot. I've seen my sister knock several teeth out of my dad's mouth in like one setting. So,
what does your sister do for a living?
So she is in real estate now.
Oh, okay. Well, I know there's a Carissa Shields over here talking about that was the baby.
No, but she would always play the role of like protector. So
she's the oldest.
Yes,
she's okay. Oh, okay.
So anyway, it would be like, so immediately I start yelling, and I'm like, he pulled a knife out on me this morning. This nigga pulled a knife out on me, and immediately my sister, she starts grabbing all of his shit that's in the hallway, starts throwing it out into the street, and starts beating him up and shit. And then that started the whole time of he would just come around periodically, and we would call the police.
Your sister beat the complacency out of his
ass. I watched the man pick up.
You think you just gonna sit here and pull a knife on your son? My brother? Are you serious?
Yeah. Oh man, what else I was about to say? Oh yeah, I seen my dad's dick.
I like how we came back to that. We had look in Nate's mind. We gotta get back to this.
I was like, Joseph,
we gotta get back.
Can you please stamp that? That
I'm let the podcast people know we've moved past it.
Yeah. Y'all moved past it.
I'm coming back.
We got content.
Yeah.
We got content. Man. We need to chop up. So anyway, I've seen my dad's dick before.
It's just wild.
My sisters, they used to sometimes go spend the night because I have a half sister that actually is the oldest. They used to sometimes go spend the night at her place. As a matter of fact, at a point in time, my sister had went to a different school, so she was living with my other sister at the time. So sometimes when it was just me, the youngest one there, my mom would let my dad in and stuff, and I would always be like, no, you need to let him out of the house, but I wasn't a grown man.
Yeah.
So nobody was fucking.
Boy, shut up. Yeah. Boy, go be quiet.
Right. There was one time my dad and my mom was arguing, and he just like pushed me to the side. So when that
he got gamed you.
He
Denzel'd you.
Yeah. So I finally got
don't touch him.
Wrestle him down. I felt like man that dick. But,
that's good.
But anyway, my dad's dick. Don't give me your
I'm still trying to. Oh man, let's talk about the fight. Let's go.
No. We don't go back to that. But anyway, he was like washing clothes, and he like I was like, man, you need to get out of this house. You need to get out of this house.
All right, fuck it.
And then he opened his towel, and it was like, look at him. And he was talking to my mom.
You got flashed by.
Yeah, he was like, what you gonna do? You gonna put me out? And he was like he was like taunting me and shit like that. And then I was like, man, just go ahead and get out of the house, man.
It's like, but you want to see where you came from. You be like, hey man, go. Oh, okay. All right.
Because I'm trying to see what is this about this dude. And I was like, man, go ahead and get out of the house, man. Go ahead and get out of the house. Yeah, but anyway, he was like, Terry, look at him. He gay. Look at him. But anyway, like my dad, like asshole-ish things like that. So that what makes me like not take his addiction that serious and look at it as cartoonish.
Because it's so animated.
Yes, and it's not.
That's a show. Like, so I've never seen my dad's dick out.
It doesn't have to be a situation like that. It could be something.
But I've noticed it. Emphasize on the words. I've noticed it through tidy whities.
Yeah. Okay.
So I've noticed, and I'll be like, okay, we might be father son. You know, it was just like, all right, I see what's going on over here. But you know, but it's like, I don't know. I think as a kid, it's like you don't look for it, but you be curious, you know, because it's like, you my dad, you know what I'm saying? Like,
you ever heard your parents having sex?
No, my mom and dad were
already done.
Not, boy, let me tell you something. That happening, I would think hell is frozen if I were to ever, like, back then, because when I tell you, it's like, yeah, I'm gonna come by and see the kids. All right, stop right there. I'll send them out. Mm-hmm. Or if he could, or it's like you know how like in some movies like the dad will come knock and lean on the apartment as the like you know he just be on some cool stuff leaning for the kids to come out. Like my dad would be, I'm in the car. Tell him I'm out here in the car, and it's like he's walking. And we're rushing out of there with bags and stuff, going with plastic bags of clothes.
They're like spend the night.
Yeah, like going. Yeah.
Wait.
Yeah. My dad's functioning, bro.
Bruh, man, because I feel like you just about to flex with me for the next 2 hours. You would go. Your dad, for one, your dad had a car.
Yeah.
Your dad had a car.
Well, his wife. Sometimes they, so together. But he would have a car. But whether it was hers, he would have a car. Yes.
And a house.
Yeah,
and you would go over there and there'd be food and like a television.
Yeah, functioning, bro. Yes. Like I stayed with my dad for a summer when I was going through my phase of like rites of passage as like that teenage boy. I can't do nothing. Go with your daddy. That little phase. I went to stay with my dad and I was like, I came back home and I was like, Mom, I see why you left him. I see why you got rid of him. Because it was like that. You know how like you go up there to be like, hey, it's not as bad as she's making it seem, but you know, it's that phase, whatever that teenage boy phase is. And he was on some strict, we get up in the morning, cut grass. Because that was his dad. My dad owns a landscaping business. Shout out.
Dad owns.
Yeah, so functioning. Functioning. That's why he's such an animated guy.
All you small business owners complaining about how you can't get shit done and make a profit.
Yes.
Crack.
Come on. And look, it's crazy because I go in the neighborhood and we'll know when my dad's on the run because all the yards will be just high.
Yo, imagine your dad.
Where my dad at? Oh, he gone.
Imagine your dad doing Undercover Boss. Imagine your dad doing Undercover Boss. They can't finish the episode because he got to leave every 10 minutes.
So we got to stop taping. We got to stop taping for a month because...
and he just stopped production like, somebody let me hold $20.
Yeah. He's like,
and I will be back.
As a matter of fact, you know what? Just give me $5. If you can give me $5, we can skate with $5.
They're supposed to give the best employee a prize at the end. It's only $50 left in the account. Like,
unfortunately, we had 1,000.
We had 20,000. But somebody just left a bunch of IOUs.
Right. And balled up ones in there. But yeah, no, so it was just like, and I told him, because like my brother has autism, and I talk about him a lot. Oh. My younger brother has autism. And I told my dad, I said, I can look at it from the outside looking in because I'm grown and I'm not in home with my dad. I'm like, Dad, you got to understand this. You're not consistently there every day, right? Whether you're out on your run or just doing whatever you're doing, right? So when you come and be the enforcer and the father, like you better get up here almost. With my brother's autistic, he doesn't process that well. It's just like, how you gonna come in here and tell me what to do, and you're not even in the building consistently to do that? So I'm like, you're showing it's like, I'm not a bad model, but it's like you're not consistent on the father end, so you can't expect him to be consistent on your expectations of him as a son. Because I'm like, it's not fair. And my brother has actually like touched up my father a few times, and I was just like, my brother, he has social like awkwardness. Like he will come in here and see a seat and will stand the entire time, right? So my brother doesn't process. He processes things a little differently, a little slower, right? And for my brother, who is on that spectrum and doesn't like talk, I'm like, for him to hit like physical with you, I'm like, hey man, and my brother got quiet feet. Hey man, watch that boy. Cause I'm like, I watch a lot of true crime and I watch a lot of stuff. I said, and I told my dad, I said, you need to put some spoons on the doorknob so you can hear when it opens. And they was laughing. I'm like, Dad, I am not playing.
Why did he hit him?
It was just over time. It's just like, you're not there. You're always going. Like my brother is 20 years old, 21, and he's called me twice in his life. And when he's first on the phone. My brother called me when I was probably about 4 years ago. He was like, Kalen. I was like, whoa, because he doesn't talk. I was like, yo, what's up? So I stopped everything. I called I said, Grandma, I got to call you back. My Darius is on the phone. She's like, oh, my God, pick up the phone. So he's like, Kalen. I was like, what's up, bro? What's up, dude? You good? Because I'm automatically, it's the worst. Like, what's up, bro? You straight? He was just like, why does Dad go on runs? I'm like, and the comedian in me, I'm like, man, I think you should ask him. Like, cause it's funny to me, but I'm like,
he's asking why he's going on binges.
Yeah, like binges. Like, but so I always refer to him as a Jesse Owens or Carl Lewis. Like, so when he ever goes on Raw, he's just at track practice. You know, that's just he's going on the run. He's at practice, guy. And I told him, I said, I don't know, but when you get older, you battle stuff and you find ways to cope with it. And I gave him like a 3-minute conversation, expecting for him to return with something, and he just says, "Okay," and hung up. So his processing of what's going on, he processes that with, like, they'll call me. They'll be like, "Yo, Caleb, go talk," and I'll be like, "Hey, I don't know how to deal with this, but I guess that anger, that buildup, whatever that is," and he can tell you, I don't know, but I'm just guessing. That physical, whatever that was, is probably from the trauma. Like, hey, it's like a boss that's coming into work they're not doing nothing at the job, and y'all better get on this. You better do, or you're gonna get fired. Like, I can't hit my boss, but I do want to. Like, who are you talking to? And it's just like, you my dad, and it's like, I'm not saying I can hit you, but it's just like, you're close enough to understand or feel my anger. You know, so that's my knowledge of processing of why he did it, and he just doesn't understand, like, as he gets older, he'll understand this a little bit better, but like trial, tribulation, what you do, like, life is based on decisions. So this happens so I can either deal with it or go on the bench in terms of my dad.
And he's aware that he's on drugs, right? So he was just asking because he just disappeared.
Meaning, like, because he doesn't understand, like, you have a family here. Like, why do you just keep leaving us? You know what I'm saying? Like that. And he asked me that, well, he was like 17, 18. Yeah, so it's like but he's like old enough to understand, like, you know, decisions and people. But, you know, if my brother is 17, 18 physically, he's like mentally, like, I want to say like 13, right? So it's like, okay, he's 20, but he's really this age, so we have to, and that's according to the doctors and, you know, just researchers, whatever. They's like, he's just mentally a little, you know, I don't want to say slower, but he's just, you know, not, So, but yeah, I have to go. I don't have to, but I want to go visit him and like just take him on like stuff, just like picking his brain, because like my brother, he don't do. Like, he's just in the house gaming, beating his meat. Like, he will beat his meat. I swear. Like, he will beat his meat. And it's crazy because out of everything, that's what he's found to do. Like, he's doing anime or beating his meat, bro.
Living like a 13.
Living like a man, for real. Like, it's just, the only thing he's missing is a consistent job. If he finds a job, I'll be like, all right, cool.
So, question, and I guess it probably would have been hard because you said he doesn't talk. Did he tell you, like, how he felt?
Yes, he was like, it doesn't make me, in literally verbatim, I don't like it. It makes me feel bad.
Beating on the dad?
No, you said beating on him. No, oh no.
What you thought I was talking about?
Oh, I thought you were talking about like.
No. You thought I was asking about how does he feel like he does?
No, I thought you were talking about like
probably sleeping.
The dad on binges like that.
Oh, okay.
But he's never, and I've probably never asked though, for real.
That's a good question.
I would, and I might ask him that, like, why did you decide? Because I have not seen, and I want to have a face. I don't want to call him because he ain't gonna, you know. I want to have a face to face of like why, because I would love to understand why, and you can gauge, but why that lash out? Because this went not only to my dad but towards his mom as well.
Oh, okay.
Because it's like, and I told him, like, when you're done with somebody, meaning you can't take no more, you will find ways to protect yourself to where they can't enter in the house or enter in your life anymore. And it may be extreme, but when you're done, you're fed up, you will find that whatever that way is. Some people choose murder. Some people choose relocation. Some people choose, you know, just a whole nother idea, whatever the case. And I'm like, it's the reoccurring cycle, you know, and nobody's perfect. But I'm like, you know, if you're in this cycle of things, the same thing's going to keep happening. I said, you have to find a way. And I'm not telling nobody to kick my dad out or abandon his family, but I'm like, set up parameters to where that can be continual. And it's not easy. It's not. You know, but you, when you're fed up, you're fed up. And you'll find a way. So
I used to ask those questions too. I would say for me, with all the physical altercations that I've gotten into with my dad, is when I actually got old enough, going through puberty, and I was old enough to fight him, and I actually like took him down. One day, he was at the door talking some crazy shit to my mom, and then I remember at one point I started crying a little bit. And he was like, look at him, Terry. This boy is hurt. He misses his granddaddy because at the time my grandfather had passed away.
Using your pain again.
The worst therapist.
Like, no.
Like, this nigga is terrible.
It's the fact that
I am saying all this, and you crazy because I'm looking at Joseph at the time, and he looking at me like, I am so sorry he laughing like this. Right?
Because your dad is using you to like, that's the funny part. It's just like,
horrible.
You using this opportunity to throw my pain in my face. Like, look at your son. Look, you're not letting. Like, nigga, look at you.
He's horrible.
like what are you talking about?
Yeah. So I forgot. We ended up tussling, and I remember there was some like, for some reason in our apartment there were some bikes in the hallway, like maybe 3 bikes. None of them worked. I couldn't remember. To this day, I don't remember why they were right there. Yeah, but I remember me and my sisters, when we were younger, we used to like play house and like pretend it was a car and whatever. But anyway, the bikes were right there, and I remember tussling with him, and I actually grabbed him. I got a hold of him, and then I threw him into the bikes, and I was like,
late night push-ups kicked in.
Yeah, and that's, in that moment, I felt like a man.
Of course,
because I had stood up for that little boy who couldn't fight this nigga. And I remember the next time, because at that point, in stand-up, when you realize you could riff, you kind of try to do it too much. Yeah. I was walking around with my chest out, being like a baby. Every time I would look in that hallway, see him in that sleep, I was like, hey, better be the problems today. And I remember we almost got into it because he almost grabbed my mom one time. Mm-hmm. And then when I bucked up to him, he was like, boy, I ain't about to wrestle you. And he like backed down. And that finally made me feel a little bit better. So I imagine with your brother, do you think possibly he was in a position where it's like, okay, now I'm big enough, I can finally do something about it?
I can't deny that, because I don't know. I would have to ask him, but it would make sense. You know what I'm saying? Because my brother is a tall, skinny, straight up and down skeletal. Like he's just skinny mini, right? So you probably got more. You probably got.
If I'm bigger than your brother, that nigga is dying.
Like,
you need to check up on him.
I'm bigger than your brother, I'm serious. Like my brother is
on his last.
Like breath. My brother is like. Nah, he's not dying, guys. But
he's smaller than me.
But he's skinny. But he's tall. Like my brother's like probably my height, or maybe an inch taller than me, or same height. But my dad is 5'9", 8'9", 5'9", but more of like a dad build. Not fat, but good size. And it's just like my sister who was in home. I'm not. She's normal, but they have the same thing of we don't talk. We're in our rooms 24/7. He's in his world. She's in her world, and it's like the highlight. I feel like the highlight is when we come around. Or when she's with mom, so it's just like, and I know, but here's the thing, my sister is a daddy's girl. Like I believe your sister really just loves your dad. It's just like almost to the point of like, you're taking my love for granted type deal.
You mean my mom loves my dad?
No, and I mean your sister in the sense of, and here's why I say this, and I could be wrong, but in the sense of me saying this, watch it. And the reason why I say this is because it's just like, it goes through, you have so much love for somebody, and it's like now you're taking my love and you're twisting it and you're trying to use it against me and use it against with my mom, my brother, and it's just like, now it's like, okay, now you're playing with me type deal. Like that is like in the position, because like my little sister, like she's a daddy's girl. Like, Dad, I miss just come home. Like my dad, like please.
Was there ever a period of time where he wasn't on drugs? Your dad?
I'm pretty sure, but when I say he wasn't on drugs, meaning like okay, maybe a couple months clean. But I don't know. But if from 96 on or 95, how long, it's always been that story.
Question.
Yeah.
When did his use start?
I was born in 96, so I want to say I don't know the exact year, but it was before that because he went to rehab.
Are you saying that because you don't want to be labeled as a crack baby, or are you 100%?
No, I'm 100%. No, because my dad, once again, functioning, right? So my dad was working, doing everything, but he'll never forget the first time.
Really quick, if I can interject.
Go ahead, please.
I say that because do you guys know that the myth that the whole saying crack baby is actually a myth? It's not true. It was
I saw a story about
the
that.
method. The phrase "crack baby" came from a study that was conducted in the 80s. They took 23 subjects, and they found some symptoms to like have shimmers and have shakes and stuff like that, and to be like really undersized and premature. So they labeled them crack babies. But that was actually false. The scientist that did the study, his name is Chasnov. He did it in the 1980s. There was another group.
A Russian doctor.
You guys dissect. I don't want to.
Yeah, I'm talking.
I just watched Daredevil. There was a Russian nigga. But anyway, he did that study and then created the whole term "crack baby," and it fit in with the whole narrative that Reagan was having about just saying no to drugs. They ended up doing. A group of scientists at a university ended up doing another study where they debunked all of his findings, and they were just like, hey, all these symptoms that you're saying is with crack babies, the same symptoms happen in premature babies. Yeah. Like you can put a because they like did this whole piece in the 80s where they were putting cameras on these premature newborns and saying, oh, this is the crack epidemic. Yeah, but it turns out all the babies were just premature, and they actually followed the 23 test subjects in like adulthood, and they only found like slight changes in them. The reason, and they debunked all of those findings back in the 80s, but they didn't want any of their new findings to become public. Because they still wanted to basically do mass incarceration.
Yeah, it's cool. Yeah.
They were taking black pregnant women who were addicted to this drug that they pushed into our neighborhoods, and they were using it to actually lock them up and not also put drug charges on them, but also put child abuse charges on them as well. Of course. So just like anything else in American history, when you do a little bit more research, you find just the same conclusion to every problem. Yeah. It was white people's fault.
Moral of the story.
I say all of that to say white people is the reason for the Pipe the Parent podcast.
The Pipe the Parent.
Which also sounds like a porno.
Hey, it does. It's like from to pipe or to parents.
Yeah. Like you holding up a crack pipe to smoke or to not smoke. That is the answer. Hey, that is the question. And the answer is, nigga, we smoking. Yeah.
But in reference to the point before,
I'm sorry, where were we?
No,
my dad's dick?
Yeah.
Did I tell you that story, guys? Did I tell you that story, guys?
Right? Yeah. No. Like my sister, and they're both affected, but my sister is more, it's just like mom to a son, daughter to a granddad. I mean, daughter to a dad. That relationship is just always something that's just connects. But you know, my sister's never called me like that, but she'll call me in a concerning tone, but she may not ask it. She'll just be like, "Oh yeah, like what are you doing?" And I'll be like, "Where'd that?" "Oh, I don't know. I haven't seen him." "Okay. What's going on with you?" "I'm just in my room." I say, so I can hear the tone of the concern, but she hasn't never vocalized it, because I think and I could be so wrong, but in her eyes, I think that's dad. I love dad. He's a good guy, because my dad's a great guy. He's a good guy. He just has said, if this Nobel Peace Prize winning mother, but he.
Know what I think. I tried to call his number last night and it said,
his number. The number you have reached is no longer in service.
You know what's crazy? In preparation for this, I wanted to talk to him. I'm about to go back home to Savannah this weekend.
Yeah, for a show. Shout out support shows.
Yeah. And I was like, "Hey, mom, does he have a new number?" And she was like, "Nah, his phone got stolen. The only time I'm able to."
It's the same number. That number gonna work always. That's one thing about it. That number ain't never changed. The number been the same since '87. Okay? Different phones, but same number. He done went from the Razor to the iPhone. Every phone in between. Same number. Oh oh my God, that number. He said, no, that number ain't changed. I don't care what he told you. That number is still the same, baby.
Oh man, but no, she said his phone got stolen, and the only time she goes to talk to him, because I know she still talking to him.
You got to.
It's gotten to a point where I'm not delusional. I know somewhere you're.
And you might have messed around.
You know what's crazy? There would be, when I was still living in Savannah, there would be just times where I was working security downtown for SCAD. Yeah. When I was getting into my car, and I just randomly saw him trolling by.
Stop lying.
And I swear to God, and I almost had to think whether or not I wanted to call him, because he was like maybe like a few yards away. So I came up and I didn't know whether I wanted to yell Dad or Will, so I just yelled Will. And then he came and then he was like, "Oh man, how you doing? I hear," because around the time I was in the Army, so he's like, "Oh man, I hear you in the service." And in my head, I'm like, how the fuck do you know that? Yeah. But it's like, all right.
Somebody's, because I know you ain't got Wi-Fi.
Yeah,
somebody.
I can't use your number.
Somebody can't call you and tell you. I can't.
But anyway, she says, I'm going to go home this weekend when I'm doing the shows, and we're going to go to the park, because she says that's the only time she talks to him. and I guess me and Mom going to hoop until we pull
Hopefully, we're going to run twos until he pull up.
Yeah.
A family trio on the court. We're going to run twos until he pull up. We're going to be a triple.
We're going to go to the court and do an all-man.
Imagine y'all run the court.
Bro, I finally feel close to that dude.
You be like, you know what? These last 20-some years, I don't even, because we don't win 5-0 on this court.
It don't even matter, man.
You good.
You like little Austin Reeves.
Bro, you like,
James.
Who this guy hooping in this trench coat and boots? Saucing up the whole court out here. What the fuck?
Funny. Anyway, I'm going to try to go, because I am very envious that you have a father.
Thank you for telling me that.
No,
because some people keep it in. Don't say that. I appreciate you telling me that to my face. Thank you.
Some niggas don't even have dads. Some niggas' dads is just functioning, no addiction at all. They're just like,
I don't like you.
I just don't want to be around you.
I wish we would have went to the clinic before.
My dad is fine. Some niggas got dads that are completely fine and just don't want to be there.
I don't know. It's like, I love all of my kids, but you. I don't like you.
Yeah, it's like good. It's like, is it addiction that keep you?
I'll find a bridge to fall off of. Thank you. All right, appreciate it.
Oh, I'm sorry. Let me finish this story.
No, go ahead.
No, it's good that your dad is so open. And you say he's like an onion. Because I, like 100%. A few years ago, finally had a man-to-man sit down talk to my dad. And it's so weird because I'm talking about all of these fighting, all these abusive, traumatizing stories about him. Yeah. But like now to see him for the first time in like damn near a decade, he's so small, smaller than I remember. Damn. His face, and you know when you get older, your nose gets longer, your ears get longer. He's lost more teeth, so his teeth, when you lose certain teeth underneath start growing longer in place of it. So his teeth are like all fucked up, and he's still has a beautiful head of hair. I was like, hey man, thank you for giving me.
You done lost a lot.
You gotta look at perspective.
You done lost a lot, but you still got the hairline.
Beautiful head of hair. Still got a nice little gray.
No Beijing. No Beijing.
The man is good with the hair, and he's like kind of decrepit. He's going to the doctor. He's he has this, and this is why I'm like, okay, I'm not so anxious to have a working relationship with him today, because it's like. I talked to him about his views on life, and he's basically just saying he's ready to die. And
would you be? And you say you're not as like quick to like reach out. I think talk to him or something. Like you just said like if you were with him being your dad, right? If you were going tomorrow, you're your dad.
If you want to have a conversation,
like would you? Would you have that as a regret, like?
No, because I had the conversation because I got some advice from from one of my ex's mother. She said a good thing to do is to see where he was at in life.
Bingo, yeah.
So we went down the whole thing.
Okay.
I asked him what he was doing when all of my other siblings was born. I didn't know that my oldest sister,
not the fighter.
No, not the fighter.
Okay.
Not money.
So how many got?
I have 3 sisters and 1 brother. My brother passed away like 20 years ago.
Okay. So it's 5. Well, you had 5 in total.
Yes. Okay. 5 in total. here's the thing. My oldest sister is not still my sister. Absolutely love her. It's whatever. My oldest sister is not my biological
different
sister.
mother.
Different mother and father. The thing is, when my dad found out that he had her, he was not with her mother, and also they had not even been intimate. So my dad actually just took on that responsibility. So that's how.
So
it makes me think.
That is a great guy.
It makes me think about how fatherhood was presented to him. It was a responsibility, and that he had to be responsible for a person that he didn't help create. Yeah. So I wonder if that
pushed him over the edge.
View like the rest of the kids as just some luggage. That you just something that you.
I gotta pay $50 extra.
Yeah, exactly, and it's like real.
This spirit, what you talking about?
While I would have loved to have the love and the relationship with him, I can see how that was just sprung up on him. But when you're a man, you just gotta handle your responsibilities. But it's like, that we went over that. I found out that he actually got married at one point in time. He fell in love with his sister's friend, and they got married. Okay. That was about to go a whole different route. He fell in love with his sister's friend, and they were only married for like a short period of time. I never knew my dad, because I always wondered, because I asked him, why didn't you ever marry mom? And I guess, again, some life-changing moment that was presented to him in like a raggedy way, so he probably didn't see no value in it. So we went through, I also didn't know my dad never graduated from high school. My grandfather had a fishing boat business. Because there has to be a story of how people end up fucked up. So for one, my dad never graduated from high school because my grandfather had a fishing boat business. Yeah. That actually he couldn't, like, I guess shrimping season wasn't so great for him. He couldn't keep up with the payments, and the bank ended up like repossessing his boat. So like he was out of a job, and then he like never went back to school because I think my grandfather ended up dropping out of high school as well, just to end up working on a boat anyway. So he ended up like just picking up handy skills. When you like, I don't know, you said your dad owns landscaping business.
He does.
Every
gutters, grass, anything, paint you need. He got
your drug addict father's landscaping business. Dad, you will not stop flexing on me. But it's like it just won't. It just won't.
I want to bring capitalism back.
but anyway, it's like I feel like all crackheads that are around the same age as our dads, they're all just good handymen. Because my dad knew how to paint houses, so that would be his whole thing. Yeah. But anyway, we had this long conversation, and we ended up stopping all the way up to the point where I was born. So we never really had the opportunity to really ask him about his drug use. And I think I did. I asked him exactly what he used, and he was like, "I only used cocaine." My thing is, I think my dad, because I vividly remember him having two like pinkish pills in his hand. I can't, that's just one memory that I have of him. So it's like, I knew he did deeper drugs. I don't think he was at a point that he was ready to admit it, talk about it. And maybe he is. Maybe when I have a conversation with him, when I go back, it'll be different. But I admire you and your dad's thing because he actually is like, nah, this is what I was doing. This is the whole thing I was going through. And sharing that with you. Yeah. And it makes sense that you have like a more calmer perspective when it comes to your relationship with him because he's been open and honest with you. That's like something that's like very rare. It's like I had to find out that he was doing drugs in the most violent way in the world.
I'm 29. It took me 26, 7 years.
For him to finally start talking
Meaning for me to be like, hey man, go to him.
Oh, so he was always open about.
He was always open, but it was just like, you know, when I don't have a dad, I'm like, Dad, how you get women? Like, Dad, how you do this when a man does this to you, like, or when he checks you? So you have stuff that I be wanting to ask, but I remember I broke down like crying outside of my front door one day because it was like, and let me ask this question: has your mom ever like kept you away from your dad? Like, no, you can't go see him. Okay.
It's opposite. My mom
Always go see him. Go.
The thing is, all of my mom.
Shout out to mom.
And I love my mom. My mom is incredible. She is the pure definition of love.
Yeah, 100%.
Unconditional.
My mom too. My mom too. Yeah.
It don't matter what I do. My mom will absolutely do anything for me. She's incredible. My mom, she's under the sense of if you're a family, y'all gotta stay together. So instead of, she'll do this thing where, all right, it's your dad. All right, let's get this going. Like y'all should talk to him, but it's like he's still doing the same exact thing. And he's like not living right at all.
I love
so it's like, what is it that we supposed to get from? What do you? She would like to sweep a lot of it under the rug instead of like having conversations where accountability is taken. She was just like to put a lot of it in the past because she's just like a loving and very forgiving person. Extremely forgiving to the point it's like, oh, I can clearly see he has taken advantage of how forgiving she is. But so it's like that's what my mom is.
I had a conversation with my mom and my dad because I grew up in a very emotional house, and I say emotional because, and I have a joke about this, but women, right? So it was like my mom's way or the highway, and as you got two boys growing up, it's just like there's always rebellion. To the level of the rebellion, you know, some guys are here, some guys are over the top, right? But it was just like, hey, you're under this tutelage of mom. She's not perfect, but she's doing a hell of a job raising two boys in this society. Cool. But then as I got older, what were your face was looking like?
No, I'm just.
As I got older,
you laughed at me. I smirked a little bit.
Oh no!
Like, hold on.
Look, you can smirk. I don't care. But as I got older, when you walk into man stuff, whatever that man stuff is, relationships, jobs, whatever that man stuff is, you're just like, you start getting a perspective of like, my dad wasn't perfect, but I could see I could see how he would move and how he would, you know, and at the end of the day, he wasn't there like for me like that. But I'm like, Dad, I get you. You're right. So like me, my mom always, she was during this time of adolescence, my mom was like, it's always the stereotype. At least you ain't like your daddy. Don't be like, you know, because I stay here. I did this for you. And it was always that, like, okay, I get it. You hitting, okay, all right, I get it, right? And it's just like, I had a conversation with my dad, and I know his trauma in terms of grandfather, which is my grandfather, his dad, married, left that marriage, my grandmother, and married my other grandmother, right? So that's something. And then my mom has some things that she has on her side. Right? Now, I'm like, perspectives. Have they dealt with that trauma? Right? Maybe my dad deals with his trauma back then doing drugs. I don't know. But he gave me some insight. And he taught, and I had a conversation with my mom. I'm like, Mom, I don't hold any negativity towards you. But it was some animosity because I feel like, to any mom, and I'll throw this out there, don't ever stop the child's relationship with the father because the mom and the dad don't work, right?
If he's on crack, it may be
a
little bit of a reason.
But meaning when they get of age, because he's a man. At the end of the day, your dad is still a man. Yeah, my dad is still. So it's gonna be stuff that your mom you can't tell him. Yeah. So always, even if you know if he ain't gonna do what he gonna always allow the opportunity. And my mom, over time, sometimes it would, sometimes it wouldn't. Sometimes I could be like, Mom, that was on the back end. I was like, Mom, that's a little emotional. I was like, even though I understand, he ain't been the easiest guy to deal with. I get you, but a lot of people don't know this. Like my dad is rock and roll. My mom is elevator jazz music. Two completely different people. They met at a concert. I think in the 80s or something, at like a major concert, James Brown, Michael Jackson, one of those, right?
Let's just say James Brown for the sake of the vibe of the spot.
Oh. Right? And so my mom I'm going to the library to read books on Saturday. That's what I'm going to do.
Jesus?
Man, God-fearing. So is my dad, but clearly, right? Right, maybe. But I saw my mom snap one time. Like, when I say snap, I'm like, no, they talk about the snap. And this is when he told me about the story, I'm just like, I've seen that lady before. My dad was at my grandmother's house, and they were going back and forth. whatever the case may be. I don't know what they're arguing about. And my grandmother has a back room that you kind of walk through a little bit, but it can be like a straight shot that you walk into, right? And my mom was like, she was yelling. And my dad, he said, I've never seen her in this space before. My mom took a knife and threw the knife across the room. And my dad's face is here, and the knife went into the wall right here. And he said, and for my mom is such a, oh, hi, she's this nice, but I'm like, my mom it's the fed up spirit. It's like, I'm fed up with whatever you got going. And that night, and he's like, Kaylin, when I heard the knife, you know how like on the animated cartoon, like, brrr, like, brrr. He's like, and he heard that and went into the door. He said, amen. He said, he was like, whatever I'm doing, let's go outside. But it was just like, my mom didn't never throw no knife at me. No, but I saw how the pressure of growing up 2 sons in this climate is tip of the iceberg. It's like, y'all ain't, and my mom always took on this spirit of, y'all not gonna overrun me. Mm-hmm. That's always been my mom. Like, I know y'all 2 boys, but I am the queen/king of this house. Right? So she always had that, and it was always like my way or the highway. So with that perspective, I grew up in an emotional state. Because I'm like, where's the logic here? Like, let's take the emotion, bring it down, but let's, but then as I got older, I'm like, where was she at with my dad in that situation? Where was she at with her trauma or whatever she did with, even if she has trauma, what has she got over that? And then you're onboarding my dad, who's a smooth talker. He was, back in the 80s, attractive guy, head to toe. My grandma didn't play that, so he was clean, right? So you're dealing with this guy, and now he's turned over a switch, and now he's battling drugs. Now you leave me with 2 boys, and now she's like, I'm going to protect them away from you, but he's like, no, I still want to see. So it's a lot of that back and forth, and it's just like, man. So I commend my mom for staying in the race and allowing the opportunity for me to go and venture out. But I had to get from up under her a lot to go find my own answers. Because I'm like, what my dad, you know how your dad would like I said earlier in the podcast about him manipulating you, right? So my dad, right, so we was driving one day, and it was a conversation. We were just talking, just breaking bread and just understanding, right? And he was like, your mama don't tell you everything. It's like that. I'm trying to gain alliance. it was. Oh yeah, I did tell you, but for the podcast sake. So he was just like, he said, your mama don't tell you everything. See, what she show y'all is a front. Now, mind you, my mom already spoke about. My mom had 2 sons. She already had spoke about an extra son or whoever it was that she had to, go to and get that situation taken care of to where I can't do another third, right? I knew about this already. And I was just like, whoa. I was like, wow, I never knew. But my mom, out of frustration, it just came out. And I was just like, oh, mom, you a killer, mom. You know what I'm saying? But my dad was like, oh, yeah, your mama don't tell you how it was supposed to be a third of y'all. But I bet you she ain't tell you that. And I'm driving and I said, Dad, I know about it. He was like, oh, okay. That was his, he on my side now moment.
Dad. So funny. He had that in his back.
Yeah, that was his spade. That was his ace of spade, the big joker. He had the big, but I'm like,
because it's funny because he probably trying to throw more stuff on her. She still got taxes.
Yeah. Right? You know she skipped out. But I'm like, but I don't take it to heart to nobody. I'm like, I see when it's love and war. Yeah. Everything is open. Like everything's on the table. So it's just like she gonna do what she gotta do to fend for her. You gonna do what you gotta do to keep doing what you want to do. You know what I'm saying? But how about this? Give me a. Do you have a memorable, and it's trauma, but a good story like that you have in terms of like?
No. I don't know if you know the these concept of my relationship.
These are good stories.
No, I don't have a happy. No, I'm sorry. What were you about to say? Go ahead.
I would say because I called my dad for a story. I was like, and a story that I know. but I said I need some minor details. So I'm like, do you have a story that is like a traumatic thing? Like, has your dad ever told you any of his street stories? Like,
that's the thing. No.
Wow. Okay.
Into like
he won't.
I didn't get a chance to ask him, but even with me asking him a question about what is it that you actually use, him just trying to keep it mundane and just saying cocaine is like, oh, you're not really ready to open up.
My dad says dope, so it's whatever is in that realm. So he keeps it as he's I was on dope. Yeah. You know, so but my dad he doesn't do needles now. Like, so I'm gonna go into the story. Right. So my dad, way back when, in Fort Lauderdale, there's a place called the Downbeat. And back in the day, that was the hangout pool hall, just everybody, you know, that vibe of like everybody know the Downbeat. We're going to the Downbeat. That's where we all hanging out, right? So my dad was with a guy, and he had bought a dope from a guy, but it wasn't hitting on nothing, right? He was like, man, this dope ain't shit. You know what I'm saying? It sucks. So he went to go meet with another guy to get dope, right? And he had it, and when he had some, he was like, man, this is it. This is what I needed, right? I mean, it was the upper echelon, like it was a good hit. So in his mind, he was like, let me go with this guy. I'm going to give him some money to go with this guy to get the bulk of the package. Like, meaning I'm going to rob, whatever, just to get, why would I take one hit when I can get the whole thing, right? So he goes, takes it, starts running, like just grabs it and goes, right, after they go to the spot, right? So in the short story, the guys end up chasing him, right? But then he runs to go get help because it was like he was like, oh my God, this guy's chasing me after you took his dope, right? So he didn't know he saw a group of guys that was standing there. And he goes like, hey man, can y'all help me? Some guy chasing me. They're trying to do whatever to me. He didn't know the dope he stole. He was working for those guys that he ran to. so he ran into the trap, right? So now he's haul-assing away from that group, right?
This is like a cartoon.
Right? So he's haul-assing down the street, right? And I could tell how old it was because he was like, yeah, they was on bicycles. Like, they was on bicycles chasing them down the street, right?
He get chased by some young niggas in the 80s.
Right, but here's the thing. And I said, Dad, they was young. He was like, no. So what happened was he was gone, and the dope boys he knew got older and grew out. And the younger kids, you know, like they're the new kids on the block. So he was just trying to go. I'm like, Dad, you didn't know, go back to the OG. He was like, the OG's left. He said, he said, these new niggas are taking over. So he had to go to them. End up getting chased, going through the neighborhoods, going through fences, right? So he running, right? A guy on the bike catches up to him, knocks him down, right? So they basically beat the hell out of my dad, right? I'm talking about beat.
It's like a cartoon, so I imagine a little ball of smoke.
And so they're tearing him up. Then the rest of the group has caught up. So now it's however many, plus 5, 6, 7 on one guy, right? He's running towards the downbeat, and they catch him. Because in his mind, I can get to the downbeat because I know everybody over there. And I can get to safety if I get to the downbeat. On this particular day, the downbeat is closed. So he's just running over there for nothing, right? So he's like, Kalen, and he said, I remember this like it was yesterday. One guy hit me, I go to sleep. Another guy hit me, wake me up. And then another guy hit me, I'm going back to sleep. And it was the quickest sleep cycle ever. He was just like, a guy hit me to wake me up to knock me back out, right? So he gets up from he finds his way to squirm away from that. Yeah, to beat him up again, right? So he goes across the street, right? It's like not a crisis center, but like a place where you go get medicine that help you out with certain stuff. It was across the street from the downbeat, like a center or something like that. Yeah, right. So they had a fence. He said, Kalen, they hit me and knocked me on the fence, like on some cage match, right? And he said, and they're wearing me out. Boom, back to the sleep cycle. Back to the sleep cycle, right? I'm like, right? So then he's on the ground, right? He's on the ground. And this is the survivor story of my dad. I'm like, grace of God. The guy who he initially stole it from, or one of the head guys, right, takes a cinder block. And he was like, I'm gonna effing kill you, and takes the cinder block. And my dad was like, literally, it was God speaking to me. He said, like, put your elbow up. And literally, he threw the cinder block down. Was gonna be on but my dad put his elbow up, and it broke the cinder block, broke on my dad's elbow. And to this day, my dad has his elbow is like shifted a little bit. Yeah. And yeah, so they thought he died on that incident. And my dad said, "Can you imagine? You ever seen Friday After Next? When Ricky got hit by the limo at the end, the face all swell, like Martin face, like when he hit me in Hearns." So my dad's like messed up face, blood dripping, and he limps to my grandmother's house, right? Shit. And so my grandma opened the door and didn't even recognize him.
Yeah, that's scary.
Yeah, and my grandmother calls the paramedics, but my dad is so paranoid about needles. He was like, they were going to take him to the hospital, but he was like, absolutely not. Absolutely not. I'd rather just, because I don't do needles, right? So my grandfather comes, gets the whole story, takes him to the hospital. He's like, hell no, you're going to the hospital. And literally, they sat him in the hallway on a gurney and didn't operate on him because they were so scared that they honestly thought he was going to die. And it's like, you can't operate on him because the swelling is so massive. You know, he couldn't. They like, I don't want to be responsible. So they literally sat in there, I think overnight or for a day or whatever, until the swelling go down. And then he ended up living, of course, and then progressed on. But I'm like, Dad, like, and that made you go back out there. You know what I'm saying?
That's rock bottom.
But that's when you survive like that. It almost puts like a ultimate warrior kind of shield on you. If you could, you survive death. You know what I'm saying? Like but that'll be enough for some people. Yeah. But he is years later, still in the sun. Now, he's probably had 3 or 4 of those. Like, I could die.
Has he ever been beaten again?
My dad almost passed. I wouldn't say passed away, but he told me died a month and a half ago, 2 months ago.
Almost overdose?
No. He was with another guy.
Running away from more people?
No. So basically, he and a guy were together smoking, and the guy thought he had more on him. So the guy tried to rob him, and the guy ended up stabbing him in the side. And then over his eye, like scraping his, like, with a knife or whatever the case may be. All in all, he got away, but had to go to the hospital and stuff like that. But he called me, and that's when and this is the joke out of me. That he called me like probably a couple of days, a week after, and he told me the situation, and he was like, "Kay, I'm done." He's like, I can't do this no more. And the comedian in me, I'm like, Dad. I said literally, I like, that crack too good out there. You ain't done. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's just not getting good. I said a guy tried to kill you for what he thought you had, right? And it's funny to me, but I'm like, I thought about, like, damn, like, my dad has faced death so many times, like fighting people, getting stabbed, going to jail. Like, my dad, it's a barrage of mugshots. Like my auntie, she was just like, they were sending something to my dad, and they was like, and they gave, my aunt was on the phone giving my dad his address to send it to, and it was just like, the address was to the county. Yeah, it was like, I'm thinking it's a real address. She was like, something. Yeah, that's the correctional facility down there, because that's where his ass gonna be at. You know what I'm saying? But it's so numb. Like, we hate to see it, but we know. But as of right now, my dad has been cool for, I want to say, a month and some change, maybe since that incident, however long ago that was. So we're just 1 minute at a time. Yeah. 1 minute at a time. So. And I always say my dad, I'm like, bro, you are, when I say my dad is a philosopher, I'm like, man, if you were just to stay sober, man, you could, but I look at myself like, am I using my own information? Yeah. Right? Like, and if I was just to stay sober and not even dealing with drugs. If I was just to stay sober in consistency, stay sober in discipline of what I gotta do, right? You could be, and that's why I'm like, it's funny, but I take it as a learning. I take his near-death experiences because I be like, God has put me in a place to where I haven't faced any near-death experiences, but my near-death experiences are through my father. Yeah. So it's like I see his like, okay, all right, I see what's going on, and I've walked the line on some scary stuff before. We human, right? Yeah. But it's just like, hey man, you know, do you really want to go through a broken arm and a broken leg? Like I literally just hit my knee on a bed frame yesterday. And I'm like, you know what? Because I literally grabbed and went to the ground. I said, So imagine breaking your leg, jumping out of an apartment building of 2 stories. Like, I know you got that with your dad, but my dad did that too. He was like, I literally had to jump over. And his wife found out that he was doing drugs. Mm-hmm. His wife now. He tells the story. They were in the middle of at their apartment watching Comic View. And he was like, one of the comedians.
That's what I imagine on Crackhead. Not a special.
Comic View.
Specifically.
Comic View on BET coming at you 6 nights a week. Get your laugh on.
That'll release. I don't know why those are Crackhead shows watching.
But the comedian was on stage doing a bit about, man, let me tell you something about crackheads. He said, they will take something and help you look for it and act like they don't know nothing about it. And he says, right as he got to the punchline, his wife just hit him. Like, just, he was like, what you hit me for? What you hit me for? She had been looking for some money. And he was like, oh, I don't know where it's at. I don't know where it's at. And she was like, mother, you know what I'm saying? So that was the realization of like, that's what it was. And he's like, hey, I couldn't even lie.
Was he like laughing at the joke before he got hit?
Like, he didn't like.
That's right, girl.
Say it again. But he was like, it was so like, and I'm pretty sure, you know, you have notions of like, what is he? Because they went through that. Like, my mom didn't like his wife because, you know, when you have a man that you love and he's going from house to house and doing whatever, it's like, no, he's mine. No, he's that. But it's that you intervening. So it was like, oh, I'm not a fan of you. Not like I don't like you. It's cordial now. But it's like, I wasn't a fan of you. But then it's like all the stories that I went through, now you get to see what we've been talking about. Mm. So like now my mom was like, oh, I ain't dealing with that. But now his wife is like, now I'm starting to see. And that was like all the stuff they've been saying. All the stuff I've been hearing. This is what it was. And he was just had to come. He was like, oh my God, you know, yeah. And he was just like, he was telling me like he would slither on his stomach like a serpent, trying to like, after he'll lay the wood down, he'll know she'll go to sleep. Okay. Yeah, like,
you got landscaping business.
Yeah.
I was like, this nigga is acting weird at work.
He'll
It's like, how did everybody know he wasn't on drugs? Like, how did they didn't know?
He'll do the grown thing, and then he'll wait till she sleep. He'll slither out of bed and do the whole floor crawl. And he said it would be in the dark, so all you would hear is he's just finding going through shoes because she would hide money. Mm-hmm. So she's going through shoes, clothes, pants, pockets, and he was like, the pocketbook. So he found the money. Like, I'm like, you doing all this in the dark? You're like, yeah. And listening to her for her to sleep? Yeah. I said, man, if you just put your mind to it. Right? And he would just talk about like, so he grabbed the money, jumped out the second story, had to limp around, messed up his ankle. Now he's limping with the.
Why he ain't just walked out the door?
That'll wake her up.
All right, man. Drugs is the thing, man. Drugs is that thing.
But it's the functionality. He's able to leave and come, you know, and I to my day, hats off, because I'm like, you live a life that most people couldn't even dream of.
That's right.
In a space of like, you can always come and still thrive. Like, my dad has an upstairs room in his house. Okay.
Upstairs?
Yes.
Your dad got a 2-story.
Yeah.
Stairs.
But when he comes back from binges, he has to go up there. Like, the family won't let him down. Like, Like you got to go up there for a week. So I'll be like, where you at? He like in the mango tree. That's what I call it, the mango tree. You know, that's where he'll debrief and debunk. Be like he'll come in the street for 3-4 days straight, and then I love because he will come back to the regular world like nothing happened.
Have you ever seen him hide before?
Yes, he's come. I have a recording of him at my front door. Here's the thing. It's not on my. It's on my hard drive. I did because I thought about it, but it's literally so. It's on my hard drive. I'll show you. But he comes to after a bench in my house in Decatur, and he's like, he hits my doorbell. He's like, hey, come on, please open up, man. I need you. And I'm watching him. He gets out the truck, busted leg, looks dirty. Look like he's been out there in the streets, and pants unzipped. And I'm on the camera like, I'm watching him do it. I said, hey, Dad, put your dick up, man. Like, put your dick up because I got 2 daughters. Like, I got a young lady and her 2 daughters next to me on the right. So I'm like, hey, man, put your dick up, man. I'm talking through him through the Ring camera. I'm talking to him, and he was like, please, just give me anything, man. I just need something. Give me something. He said, make it look. I said, I ain't got nothing, Dad. He's like, well, give me something to drink. I said, Dad, you don't even drink. That's how I know he's gone. Because my dad don't drink no alcohol. He was just like, man, come on. I know you got some liquor. Give me something. I said, I'm going to give you a glass of cranberry juice. That's all I got for you. But I have about a 30, 40-second video of him at my ring.
That's crazy.
Yeah. Yeah. You know.
That's an intro to your comedy.
Look.
At some point, for some reason,
you know who he looked like?
He
Frozone.
Frozone?
Yeah, got the glass.
You know it's crazy.
The Frozone.
For some reason.
He got the glasses. That's what it's just the glasses. He's tall too. How tall?
He's not tall. He's like the same size.
Oh, okay.
For some reason, I don't know if it was him getting Social Security checks or whatever, but there was some period. I don't have any more details about it, but there was some period where he pretended to be blind. So that picture is him.
Where's the cane? Where you missing the cane?
Him. It was beside him. You didn't see it?
I didn't see it. I just saw the.
I think he was just trying to get something with disability. You see that thing in between his legs?
Oh man, that is funny. That's hilarious.
I'm sending it to you right
now. That is so funny.
But
I gotta find that video too.
No, that's incredible.
It's in my hard drive.
So much.
Yeah, but my dad, but I appreciate my dad for being an open book.
Yeah, I've only seen my father drunk. I have not, and you know it's crazy. There was a period of time because he used to stay with my grandfather, and my grandfather passed. He moved in with us, and he didn't have a job or anything like that. So of course he didn't have money for drugs or alcohol.
That's depressing.
And he would just sit in the house, and I remember he had this cool sense of humor that was almost similar to Bill Cosby.
Dad or granddad? You said that who has a cool sense of humor?
Oh, my dad.
Okay,
because I was saying my grandfather had passed that he was living with.
Okay.
And then my dad came to live with us.
Gotcha. Okay.
And the whole time he didn't have a job or anything, so he was just sober and he would just sit and watch TV. But it was like I could see like how it was hard for my mother because here's a grown man in her house that isn't working and isn't helping.
Yeah.
But for me,
that's a tough sight for a mother that's working.
But for me, it was like, oh shit, my dad is around 24/7.
He always here.
And he always here. And he was like funny as hell. I remember that there was a picture. That's why I keep saying he reminded me of Bill Cosby because there's a picture of him in this really nice sweater.
The sweater.
And the jokes, he would just make like funny, just stupid, silly jokes. My dad introduced me to sugar water. Like he said it was magic water. He said it was magic water at first.
That's funny.
And then I don't know. It was just like very fun things. We would watch wrestling. My dad is one of the reasons that I love wrestling so much. First time that I even seen a match, I was watching The Rock versus.
Who's your favorite wrestler?
The Rock. And most of the reason was because it was my dad's favorite rapper.
Of course, The Rock.
Yeah.
It has to be The Rock.
Yeah.
Mine was Rey Mysterio, by the way.
Yeah.
Undertaker and Rey Mysterio was always my favorite.
And I remember
He said, The Rock.
Yeah. The Rock. Oh, I just got it. I didn't even get it.
Oh, why would it be any other wrestler? It has to be The Rock. Because he's my dad's favorite wrestler, The Rock.
I didn't even put those two things together.
That's why I was like, of course, The Rock.
I don't even know, like, yo, your stories are so, it's like you telling your stories on Oprah and mine is like Charleston White.
Right. You just say Cheese TV. Cheese TV.
No, but it was a Rock, and I remember I was watching it with him, and he used to smoke Black and Milds all the time.
Oh, okay,
he let me hit his
My
Black
dad
and
used to
Mild.
do that too.
Right.
What is that with the smoke? Like my dad, I never understood that.
I'm gonna say this. I know with weed when
never cigarettes though. Did your dad do cigarettes?
Yes, my dad.
Okay, so my dad, I don't think my dad did cigarettes.
Right.
Not that I saw.
So why I think the Black and Mild was a thing is because I smoke. So when you get high, if you hit a Black and Mild, it like.
No, I don't know.
You didn't know that?
I don't. Yeah.
Bro, there was one time I was getting high. This is around the first time I started smoking, like in high school.
Mm-hmm.
And my boys passed the Black and Mild to me.
That's in the rotation of a blunt.
Yeah,
that's so foul.
After we get
that
high,
is.
No, it was after we got high. Then we was like. It was like a Black and Mild. We were sharing a Black and Mild. And when I hit it, I was listening to my headphones.
They ain't your real boy. They ain't your real boy.
They gave me weed. So
okay.
So
Shout out.
I was high and I was listening to my music. When you hit a Black and Mild, it gives you this light feeling. So I felt so light that one of my headphones started to fall out, and I thought my ear was falling off.
My ear. My ear.
I hit it and I was like, I thought my damn ear.
He just saying for no reason now, like what? Didn't nobody say nothing, Like what?
But anyway, that's where I think the Black and Mild comes from. I'm assuming
interesting.
When you're on crack, when you're high.
Yeah, because I watched, like my dad used to have his truck, and every now and again he would just pick us up, and then he'll just be driving with a black, and I'm like, no Black and Mild.
Yeah.
I'm like, what? I was like, that was.
It could be that he just liked to smoke Black and Milds, but I know that's a thing.
I don't.
Any questions, Joseph? Oh yeah, y'all can't see.
Yeah, Joseph's over here
off the screen. When we were planning to put this podcast together,
shout out to the Late Night Studios here.
We called Joseph because when we had the aha moment.
Oh yeah, tell him
our dad was a drug addict. We called Joseph and was like, "Oh yeah, I know the great producer for this show." Mind you, we on speakerphone. We went outside.
Hey, I have this great dad crack episode where you think you'll be great for to run about crack and dad if you. And
on speakerphone.
It was a white lady in the back like.
There's people on the patio just chilling. This is at a coffee shop.
Like, hold on, what the fuck? Like, what the?
This at a coffee shop, by the way. I get Joseph on speakerphone. I'm like, yeah, man. Me and this comic, I don't know if you know him. His name's Striggss. We both just found out we want to do a podcast. We both just found out both of our dads was on drugs. And then all you hear is Joseph go, ah!
And then he was just like, oh, you can like piggyback and help out. He was like, oh yeah, because my dad, he had another struggle, and we was just like, nah, my dad just it wasn't as good. It wasn't as good.
He was like, my dad was an alcoholic, and we was like, nah,
it wasn't fit. It wasn't fit. He got is he doing alcohol and
it messes with the continuity.
Yeah,
then he get put out the house. Then he get ice thrown out on near death.
Did he get stepped over by his own kids going to school?
Sorry, Joseph,
well, there's been some attempted murders.
Okay.
All right, go into it. What are you talking?
So I had a very weird experience with my dad's existence, and because
is he still alive?
No, he died. Like,
okay, sorry to hear
14 years ago. Okay.
So.
No. And that is a callback. So I think my mom almost hit him with a car.
It's real love right there.
My mom almost hit him with a car. I think he evaded at the last minute, or Jesus took the wheel.
Mm-hmm.
and I think his ex-wife, shotgun to the chest. Shotgun.
Oh, like, okay, pointed.
Shotgun pressed to the chest.
What did he do? Now that I'm condoning.
What didn't he do, really? It really just
because now it depends on what he did. Now,
I mean, he was Ike Turner-ish.
He beat her.
Yeah, he was a massive womanizer, woman beater, in front of kids, tear the house up, all those things. Okay. So yeah, he was one of those. Gun jammed. Ooh, she pulled it 3 times.
Ooh.
Pulled it 3 times and jammed. This was before I was born, so I wouldn't even be born.
You almost stopped the legacy. Come on, baby. Almost. Dang.
Y'all wouldn't have a studio.
Yeah, right.
Late night studio.
Well,
Atlanta late night.
It almost was. It almost was no night. Okay.
It was a weird thing with my dad. So it's kind of weird when I say it out loud because you like sitting here and listening to you guys. You guys have this thing where you normalize trauma because that's your existence, right?
Yeah.
And with me, my dad I was like the golden child. It's like I think I'm more of the accident kid because I was the youngest of all his kids. Like my siblings are old enough to be my parents.
Dang.
So my brothers and sisters same age as my mom. So he got some young coochie. My dad, my mom like older men, and I'm just like, you believe it? She gave it to me.
Yeah.
She gave it to me, and then you got me. So he used to take me around his other women. So I would call them. They would treat me like their child, so I would call them their name. I put Mama in front of it. Mm-hmm. So there's one woman in particular. Her name was Mama Kathy, and she was like a mama to the neighborhood. She had foster kids. Anybody is in the hood, and she would take care of everybody.
Okay.
Like you come to her house, she give it a nice plate. When I got older and I started realizing, you guys hearing you guys talk, you realize what type of man your dad is. Mm-hmm. And when I had those moments, it's like, all right, I got to start unpacking these stories and seeing when is the right time to have the conversation. Went to her house and started talking about the conversation I had with my stepmom, and then of course my mom. How'd you let this guy get this off for this long? How was he able to be so effective at lying? And then was she? Because I mean, he was a car mechanic, so
he used to lying. Okay,
yeah, he's used to lying. It was, but it's like also a thing where he could sabotage some things to make himself useful.
Yeah, okay.
Just like when you guys talking about landscaping business or just being handy, like as destructive as my dad could be, he also was just maybe twice as useful.
That's the double-edged sword.
Absolutely.
Absolutely. Damn, he's so useful.
Absolutely. So he'd be the type of man, like he'd tear a house up and then he'd fix everything after he broke it on one of his drunk bitches. And I didn't see this. Like I didn't grow up with it. Like my mom raised me down south, so I'm getting all this information from my brothers and sisters when they would start having fish fry, playing cards, and I'd just be close enough to the table and I'm just listening to them. Yeah. And that's how I'm understanding who this man really is. So it's like I didn't experience their trauma, and then I think a part of how the conversation will go with me, or in some cases how they would treat me, is because you ain't been through what we've been through, but I just know of it.
Yeah.
And so it's a little bit different dynamic.
So he's treating you how your siblings
pretty much.
Trauma. He said, "I'll show you trauma. I'll show you trauma. Come live with me back in 2005. I'll show you trauma."
You read the book. We lived the movie.
Yeah. That's just book, buddy.
Right.
So you met him before, right?
Yeah, he was.
Okay.
So, and it's so weird because my mom didn't make it a point to talk bad about him. Kind of like opposite of like what you got.
Yeah.
So what I got was my dad was a superhero, and then I would see him on summer vacation. So you think about associating joy. So like my nieces and nephews around my age, because like I said, my brother and sister same age as my mom. So I associated seeing my dad with joy. Summer vacation, I would go see him in summer. I grew up in the South, and everyone's up north. So that was my idea of him until I became old enough to see, oh, this man's flawed. And then pointing out, he's not just flawed, just like you guys talking about your fathers. My dad was flawed, but he also has these beautiful qualities. And even at his funeral, it's so weird because when you meet people that see him at different stages of his life, a group of the church only knew the good side of him.
Oh, boy.
And then the other side of the church be like, I'm just here to pay my respects to the family, but I ain't like them.
Yeah.
And it's a hard thing to process because you just lost your parent.
Yeah.
And then you know all of the bad. Well, I'll say probably 70% of the bad that I know of, and then know all the good, and then it's just everything in between that jammed in on the dash between our birth date and our death date. Mm-hmm. And that's my existence with my dad.
You know, Shrimp has actually met my dad.
Yeah.
Shrimp and your dad.
Hey, I told him, I said, because Shrimp came to help out on the car. But look at my car and some stuff. So it was actually like probably a couple weeks ago. And my dad comes in with this see-through brown dress shirt with white pants and brown alligator shoes on. My dad is in slacks 24/7, and I hate it. But I say, Dad, come here.
I just imagine anytime your dad step in the room, who's that lady?
No. Oh, I got it. Matter of fact, now guess
That's
what?
his theme music.
Now I do have a video of him. I do have a video of my dad dancing, and I hope I did not delete it. Lord Jesus, don't let me delete it. But yeah, Strip met my dad, and he was like, "Oh, this is the guy." I said, "Yeah, this is the guy." Oh, here he is, right here. This is the outfit.
This man do not look like a
Functioning, really, right?
Yeah, that's
You got teeth?
yeah.
Send it to me.
Okay, let's see.
Get my number.
Yeah.
About to give
But
it
yeah, 678 4. He my dad and he met, and I was just like, y'all know Shrimp. You know how opinionated and Shrimp is, and I love him to death.
Yeah.
But you know how Shrimp, and I said Shrimp, this is my dad. He's like, this is the guy that you. I said, yes, this is the guy. He was just like, oh, he's cool. Of course, my dad is. Of course, my dad is cool, but nobody.
Shrimp would be like, you beat women? That's in the Bible.
Look,
you gotta
he said, have you read Revelation? And he just said, how you gonna call yourself a Christian and you haven't read John 3:16?
John 3:16 states a bitch not supposed to speak.
Bro, the man, bro. And so I was like, nobody, like my friends, like when they be like, oh, when I tell them the side of my mom, oh, like my mom has thrown a knife at my dad before. When I tell them the side of my dad, yeah, my dad's been on drugs for 110% of my life. They be like, nah, and I'll be like, all right, cool. What you get? I'm like, I know what this is, and they're great people, but I said everybody flawed, and I'm like, how your dad is like, he'll do something, but he'll come and burn the house, but he'll build 2 houses, right? Mm-hmm. It's the same thing. Like my dad is so useful. Like now he'll go over to my mom's house when he's in, like he'll come on vacation. He'll go to my mom's house. And you need your grass cut? Okay, you need your gutters clean.
You always know how to do
something hot labor. My dad knows how to do, and it's just like I'll be like, damn, you're just so useful. Why couldn't you just?
I got questions for you.
Go ahead, please, rock out.
So, after I got done laughing at the concept of the show, I was so not prepared for that because based on the conversation that you and I had,
and he laughed so hard, and I was just like,
I was just not ready.
It was funny. I was like,
ain't you at work?
Well, I'm like, are you?
That's why I needed to laugh. I'm under pressure.
Like,
anyway, but so after I got past that point of being childish and immature, I got into what he knows me as is like a black man or Oprah. Mm-hmm.
He puts that in quotes as if he doesn't try to be that.
Yeah,
he literally
look at his hands. He can't help his hands. Watch his hands.
He doesn't force people to get into the mode, but when they start to open the door a little bit,
he knows what question to ask and how to position his body.
And then if you're on the phone with him, he'll be like, "All right, I got Sean on the other line. Let me connect y'all and let's hash this out."
That's my life. My life is a radio show. My life is a radio show at this point. But I started thinking about all these different things and elements of the show. And actually, it's funny that we have this conversation in June because being is Black. I'm sorry, not Black History Month.
It's men's mental health awareness.
Oh, for real? I didn't even know that.
Because it's also so we got Juneteenth, we got Pride Month, and this is actually the first time I've ever heard of it being Men's Mental Health Awareness Month.
Yeah.
It's the first time I ever heard of it.
I knew about it. I didn't know which month it was.
Okay.
Exactly.
Look, they tell us, but you got to find the month.
Yeah.
As men,
I
find
knew
it.
it
Yeah,
wasn't
just
thing.
yeah,
And
there you go.
it makes sense based on like, are you sandwich it between? Well, I guess we're black in this room, so you put that with Juneteenth, and then you put that in with Pride Month. It's like men health awareness, mental health awareness rather, is so overlooked. I think it's more talked about now because it's a men's loneliness epidemic. So getting to this question, I feel like this conversation is very important, especially during this month. What traits did you guys have, or do you identify that is similar to your father's, and did you feel the pressure to unlearn them?
I think I maybe have an addiction gene inside of me. There has been times where I can completely identify that a certain thing is having a bad effect on me, but I'll keep. So I guess escapism. As I'm getting older, and I understand what addiction is. Like there's certain factors that can cause you to constantly do something that's fucking terrible. And I guess using my dad as an example, because so long I was like, I would never be on crack. I would never do no shit like that. And then getting older in my life, I've had problems with alcohol. I've had problems, like even with weed sometimes when I'm not being productive. Like that's an effect on me. And so I don't fault him so much for his addiction patterns because I've seen a little bit of it in myself. Okay. And also, I don't know if this is like this for any of y'all, but does anybody ever tell y'all that y'all look like your dad?
Yeah.
All the time, yeah.
I never was able to see it for a very long time until one day I think I was high and I looked into the mirror and I was like, oh my God, I look like this dude.
You'd be like,
And it
God,
almost terrified me a little bit because it made me start thinking, oh, am I kind of like this? So that's like one thing. But other than that, I'm proud to say that with most of the things that I do in my life, it's like me not trying to be like him. I don't think my dad was ever passionate about a thing, and I think I'm lucky to find something that I'm passionate about. I try to be way more optimistic about life because how I told you last time I talked to him, he's basically waiting for death. So other than my face and like maybe I have an addiction trait, I told you about this. My dad, I asked him, and I made sure our first man-to-man conversation, I wanted to make sure I asked him in this way. I was like, Dad, do you get any pussy? And he was like, actually, I've only been with like 4 or 5 women in my life. Like for me, I just always assumed that my dad was some big womanizer. But apparently he's like a romantic. Like I told you, he got married and shit like that. I'm like that too. Like I don't look to be like a womanizer. Like I do like just messing around with one woman. I do like creating a connection. So it did surprise me that he was like that. And then again, like you've been flexing on me this whole episode. I don't really know my dad that well. Yeah. So that's the only traits that I can clearly see that I have.
And thank you for sharing.
Go ahead. My name is Nathan.
One of my traits, and I couldn't agree with Nate on the addiction trait. It's like knowing his and knowing like I've dabbled on the weed a little bit. I can see how
we just smoked together.
He said we did crack yesterday actually. Yeah. We just hit the pipe. Pause.
The Rock says.
Yeah, of course. That a little bit as well because the knowing of it's not in your lineage, but it is because of your dad. But it's not like a grandfather dad. You know, it's not that. But it's just like the guy who brought me helped bring me into this world has that. And it's just like I have in my mind, I always have I got time to turn it around. Right? And it's that, hey man, you know, it's something that you need to confront, whatever that is, you know, confront it. So you're like, hey, this is what it is on a plain white wall. In terms on the addiction side, and just really come to grips of, hey, you're not bad, you're just a person that's going through something. And then also one of my traits that I have, I don't know if he does it to this extent. Like my dad is very joyful, and the life of the party, but to the point of is it because you're hiding something? You know, it's just like, are you really that way because of you, or you're doing it to, oh, don't worry about me. Yeah, but this your party, you know, that type of deal. And sometimes I take that on. It's like, meaning I will bring levity to a situation. I'll bring enjoyment, entertainment to a situation. But I'll sometimes do it to get my mind off of what I'm going through. Meaning, like, yeah, I'm battling, and sometimes I'll do that to the point of like, it's just keep putting one on top of the other, and now I'm battling in 4 or 5 things rather than just the one thing that was, you know, doing it. And I'm like, I'll try to hide it, you know, just to keep me high or keep the energy high. So I don't know if my dad does that, but sometimes I feel like he's very up, and I'm like, I know it's something, you know. I'm not calling him a fake, but I say it's something. Like, and I would love to ask him, like, do you hide something, like when you? Because I know he's a happy guy, he is. But like, do you do that to hide something? And I feel like I kind of get that vibe from him.
Yeah. I would say that over the time of knowing you, I haven't ever not seen you
in a good mood, right?
You're literally always in a good mood. Even there's only 2 times that I've seen you be in a situation that other people may have been vulnerable in. It was the one time you said you got booted.
Which is funny because he used to
that's why
that's what I called. He was the first guy I called. I said, Nate, where are you?
I didn't see it until the next day. Didn't answer until the next day. It was that one situation. And there was this one time I was doing this festival in Atlanta called the Red Clay Comedy Festival. Iceberg. So I went and did a show. And
we just black.
Yeah. Let me explain what happened. So we do this show. It's this festival that's happening. In between it, like, they had this setup of like snacks and food and shit like that. Okay. So I'm leaving one show. I'm going to this outdoor area to get the snacks and food. I see Iceberg and I see Striggss. They walking up. I'm like, oh man, what's up? Where you about to go? You about to do a show? I'm like, oh no, I'm about to go get something to eat real quick. They're like, oh, we come, right? And I was like, yeah, y'all can just come. So we go there, and everybody's socializing. Everybody's doing their thing. Iceberg. This nigga, I don't remember who he was talking to, but it was a group of women at some point.
Okay.
And I don't know. I'm trying to think of something he was saying. Let me just put it in as a filter. He was just saying some outlandish shit.
Iceberg.
About red pill misogynistic.
Yeah, I think I was saying.
It's an opinion.
Why y'all bitches like talking so much? Or something random like that. I'm just throwing something.
Hey, look, here
out.
goes Shrimp. Did I do that?
Yeah. Anyway, so much attention is being put on him.
Everybody's looking at you.
Yeah. He's in the background, not saying anything. It's very strange that he's being this quiet.
Okay.
He got like a bag of shit, and he's just throwing chicken sandwiches, chips,
gummies,
looking at me. And I wouldn't have noticed that he was doing this if it weren't for Iceberg. So Iceberg is bringing so much attention.
I said
that we look at Striggss and we like, hey nigga, why you taking so much shit? You not even on the festival. And he like, huh? With a stack of sandwiches in his hand, like, what?
I don't know how bad I need this right now.
And that's the thing. You probably really needed food for groceries.
Because I was like, not even, because I was just like, we out and I'm hungry. And I'm like,
exactly. I don't feel like spending no money.
You know who was with? Storm was there.
Storm was doing it.
Yeah. So me and Storm was like, shit, nigga, let's get it. So I'm like,
Storm was on the festival.
Yeah, Storm was. She was. Yeah, but